Type in RIP in the comment section to mourn the loss for Minnesota. Ends their playoff chances, the slim one that was left, and maybe ends the Mike Zimmer era as well. If looking for where to put this comment specifically, it's the pinned comment, actually. So flood the comment sections with RIP as the Vikings 2021 season, is officially over early in 2022. You're watching Minnesota Vikings Now. I am Tom. Now let's get some reactions, some news and rumors coming out of a rather poor showing by Minnesota on the road against Green Bay. The final in this one, you bet on the Packers to cover. Congrats, they did so with ease. 37-10. Green Bay takes down Minnesota. Sean Mannion. Yikes, he ain't it. Dalvin Cook. 9 carries for 13 yards. Disaster. Minnesota, entering that game, had to win out to make the postseason, and they did not come close at all. So, goodbye playoff chances. Back-to-back losses against, admittedly, playoff teams in the Rams and the Packers. Well, wasn't to be there. Minnesota out of the playoff race. There is one spot left. The Niners or the New Orleans Saints. Not that it matters too much. Green Bay once again gets to 13 wins with Matt LaFleur and Aaron Rodgers, as it just continues to be not a good stretch as of late for Minnesota. Mike Zimmer will dive into that. But first, I want to hear your one-word reaction to last night's loss. Embarrassing, disaster, sad, hit back RIP. We'll count that as one word as far as I'm concerned. Hit me up in the comments section with your thoughts. This is a disaster. The Vikings offense, 206 yards. They could not run the football whatsoever. They were terrible on 3rd and 4th downs. Sean Mannion, look, he is who we thought he is, right? We all knew he wasn't the guy. I had kind of wondered, hey, are we going to get to see some Kellen Mond or not? We did briefly. He should have thrown a pick six. It was that bad of a throw. Just did not read the defense properly whatsoever. Predetermines the route, gets picked off. Mannion, look, he avoided the interception, I guess, took 2 sacks. He was not particularly good in that game. This is what you expected out of Sean Mannion, right? Your quarterback, Kirk Cousins, out for the game, unvaccinated with COVID-19, had no chance coming back. Timing-wise, probably wouldn't have mattered there. It was a disaster. Mike Zimmer, who we'll spend some more time on, by the way, was profoundly blunt in his post-game thoughts on Kellen Mond, but I want to come back to that and instead talk some more about the key stars for Minnesota. Justin Jefferson, they threw the ball his way, 11 targets, more than anybody else, only pulled in 6 of them for 58 yards. Again, when your quarterback is bad, I don't really know what you're expecting in the end out of Justin Jefferson. There's only so much he can do in that scenario. What was a real disappointment, though, was Dalvin Cook and his usage. And I get that you're trying to keep ahead of the change, use those passes to keep the offense on schedule, don't run the football too much. I understand that mindset. Why did you not run the ball with Dalvin Cook? And I know you got behind early. The second quarter got out of hand. 9 carries, 13 yards, 3 targets. You got to get Dalvin Cook going. You're paying this back, all this money. It's Justin Jefferson, Dalvin Cook. Those are your 2 big-time playmakers healthy on offense. To not utilize Dalvin Cook, either in the quick passing game or just purely as a runner, that's a failure of the play calling. You knew you were never going to win games with Sean Mannion throwing it 36 times. I don't mind trying to throw it on early downs to keep ahead of the change and avoid 3rd and longs where you're screwed with your quarterback. But you got to get Dalvin Cook involved still. He's too important. Dalvin Cook should not have near the same level of touches as Tyler Conklin has targets. That's a recipe for failure as far as I'm concerned. So what is your concern level over the Vikings play calling? Now, well, maybe you got some head coach talk to have here in a little bit, but let me know what you think. Scale it for me, 1 to 10. 1 being you got no concern, you're over it. 10 being you're in full-fledged meltdown mode, and it's time for some wholesale changes in the offseason. want to spend some time now talking about Mike Zimmer. And he was absolutely just done. At that post-game press conference, he was asked, hey, you want to see more of Kellen Mond? And he goes, not particularly. Why, coach? Well, I see him in practice. Folks, not often do you see a head coach just body your quarterback like that. That is profound, or a quarterback like that. That's rare. I think Mike Zimmer at this point, he's out of F's to give. He knows he's going to get fired, and it is time to fire Mike Zimmer as well. Like, it's over. It was a good run. Maybe went on a little bit too long. Zimmer's not the guy anymore in Minnesota. You got to rebuild, reset at least a little bit there. Zimmer seems like a coach who knows his time is up. And after his players didn't really listen to him the way he wanted them to this offseason, this preseason, I think he doesn't care anymore. He knows he's done, and it's time to fire him. So should we do another Mike Zimmer replacements video? What do you guys have to say? Y for yes, N for no. Get those votes in for me in the comments section. And if we're being honest, it's a yes. We're going to do it. So subscribe for more free Vikings videos, including the Mike Zimmer head coach candidate list when, if he gets fired, it could technically come on Tuesday. I doubt it. Probably ends up coming more on Black Monday, maybe Sunday night as well. I want to get to 2,000 subscribers here at Minnesota Vikings Now. Help us get there. Subscribe for free right now. Zimmer, by the way, a defensive-minded head coach, and they got worked by the Green Bay Packers. 37 points allowed. Aaron Rodgers, he went Aaron Rodgers on you. 29 of 38, 288 passing yards, 2 touchdowns as well. Aaron Jones had 8 carries for 76 yards. A.J. Dillon, 14 for 63 and 2 touchdowns as well. Look, it's Rodgers. He's probably going to win MVP again. It's not a huge surprise you lost this one on the road against Green Bay, fighting for the number 1 overall seed. But still, it's a disappointing loss, isn't it? Davante Adams, I mean, he once again made the Vikings secondary look pretty bad. And I know there's no Cameron Dantzler, and you're having to start Chris Boyd out there, and Patrick Peterson has done his best year, and Boyd really got worked pretty heavily as well. Still, you got blown out by Green Bay. There's no way around it. That is a disappointing result. The offense forgot to show up. The defense didn't show up. It was just a beatdown. At least your kicker made his 51-yard field goal, and your punter was actually pretty good, but nobody really cares about the punter. If your punter is one of the big things that went well, that means it's an issue for your offense. So overall, a disappointing, in reality, end to the 2022 season, or 2021, I keep doing that, getting ahead of myself. 2021 season for Minnesota, and I think the end, maybe not officially, but in practicality, the end of the Mike Zimmer era. If and when Zim gets fired, we'll break it down, do our replacements list. We'll do several of those throughout the offseason, keep up to date on who the Vikings are interviewing as well. So, subscribe today to stay in the loop on everything going on around the Minnesota Vikings.